Our next guest is a breath of comedic fresh air. Kevin Smith is an acting, writing, and filmmaking mastermind whose talents have entertained audiences since 1994, when the release of his highly successful black and white comedy film Clerks, and the introduction of his iconic character Silent Bob.
Yeah, but you know what? That doesn't even scratch the surface of the creative iceberg. Aside from filmmaking and acting, Kevin Smith is also a comic book writer, YouTuber, podcaster, and most importantly, a lifelong fan of Pix11.
PIX single-handedly raised me. PIX was my station because they had the cartoons, they had the kids shows. At Christmas time, they had the Yule log, and I like to stare at things that burn. They had this game when I was a kid called TV Pix, a video game where people could play like from home. Kids would call and be like, Pix, 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 and it would shoot.
Well, Kevin, he's a national treasure. Kevin Smith joins us this morning to catch us up on everything he's been up to. Hello, Kevin.
Hi.
How are you doing? How are you, kids? Excellent seeing you. Nice to be talking to New York living about a little bit of New Jersey living.
Good to have you.
That's right. He's got quite a hat collection. The last one was it was sort of a Viking thing. Now you've got the backwards lid.
We're liking it. We're liking it.
So the last time
that last one seemed to be about 40 pounds ago, 40, 50 pounds ago as
know
well. I was happy. I'm always happy when I see an old version of me because I'm now 52, man, and that was only like last year. But I was heavier, so I look thinner now, so that made me feel fantastic this morning. Things are going well.
That's our goal. That's our goal.
Exactly. Right? Things are going very, very well for you, and congratulations on the weight loss. Did he say he's 52?
Yep. You don't age,
52.
my friend.
Can you believe we just passed in March the 30th anniversary of when I started making that movie Clerks.
Wow.
In January, it'll be 30 years since we took it to Sundance. So I've been in this business bugging people and in their face trying to stay relevant for the last 30 years. So every little bit helps, man. So being on New York Living just extends my career by this much at least this morning.
Well, that begs the question, though. Any chance for a Clerks 4?
Oh, we just finished Clerks 3, lady.
Come on, why not?
But yes, as long as I'm above ground, there's always a chance for a Clerks with a number after it, for heaven's sakes. We had a great time making Clerks 3. We took it on tour last year from September to December. It's now on home video. We're getting ready to make the next movie. I bought a movie theater last year in my hometown called Smodcastle Cinemas. So we're making a movie there in August, as long as the DGA and SAG don't strike. We'll be shooting there this summer, making a new movie as well. I own a movie theater, and there's an apartment above it, so I live above the movie theater.
Stop
it's
it.
adorable.
Really?
It's like a cobbler living in a giant shoe. It's really sweet.
Not the cobbler living in the giant shoe. In the middle of the night, do you go downstairs and just watch a movie by yourself?
That's what
like you
I
go
would
over
do.
to the popcorn machine, right?
That's what I would do.
Absolutely. That's my living room, is Theater 1. It seats 230, but at night I'm there by myself. I put Pornhub up on the big screen. It's amazing. Popcorn and Pornhub. That's my life now at age 52.
You should put that on the top of your resume. We were talking this morning and marveling at just how talented you are, because you said you wanted to remain relevant. Yes, clutch your pearls, but you write, you act, you produce. You had a chance to play a role in Muppets Mayhem.
That's crazy.
What in the heck? What episode are you in? What did you do there?
I'm in episode 7, and look at that. Oh my Lord,
That's
I had
awesome.
so much fun. I grew up watching the Muppets with my grandmother when it was on 7 o'clock every night.
Yeah,
so getting to work with them, bringing a full center with Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem was absolutely wonderful. And it's nice to be involved in a thing that kids can watch. Generally, all the stuff I do, kids can't watch, but being involved with the Muppets was great. I got hugged by an animal. He said snoochie boochies to me. It was pretty fun.
Oh my gosh. Sounds like a dream come true.
It really is.
Right?
I've done some cool things in my career. Like I got my hands and footprints in the cement at the Groman's Chinese Theater out in Los Angeles, and that was a big deal. But working with the Working with the Muppets, though, that I felt like I finally made it, for heaven's sakes. And it's wonderful when people are sitting there holding the Muppets, when the Muppeteers are working them, they keep them alive the whole time. They're always kind of moving around and stuff. And the saddest thing is when they take the Muppet off their hand and you just see it like fall to lack of life. So mercifully, they keep it running the whole time.
Now you just got to get a puppet that's made in your liking.
In your liking.
There
yeah.
you go.
I
Okay.
believe I've been that for 30 years, a puppet of Kevin Smith, for heaven's sake.
Well, listen, you also got to star in a music video with Logic for his song High Life. And he noted how much of a dream it was to work with you.
Yeah, he was so sweet, man. What a gifted artist he is. But we had reached out to him about being in Clerks 3, and we never heard back from him.
Oh my gosh.
At the end of the day, I was like, I guess he's not that big a fan. And then he found the message. It was on Instagram, actually. And he found it like a year later, and he was like, I'm so embarrassed that I missed this. But he's had an idea to shoot a video, and he wanted to do it at Quick Stop and at our movie theater at Smodcastle. So he came down, and we shot this video with him for a High Life. And it was kind of like, there's your Clerks 4 right there.
Right.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Right. There's your Clerks 4. Wow. This is the first time I'm seeing this video. It's fantastic.
That is
I'm a
awesome.
huge fan of everybody in that clip. So
They're absolutely wonderful, talented people.
yeah. So you took a break from everything to focus on your mental health.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us about that? Because I always marvel at people who are in the spotlight. You guys are human. We're all human, right? We all have our moments where we're like, listen, I'm not an actor. I'm a human being, and I got some stuff that I need to deal with. Can you talk to us about that a little bit?
Absolutely. I went crazy a few months ago. I had a complete break with reality, became very dissociative. So I went to this place called Sierra Tucson, a mental health facility out in Arizona. And they helped me find my marbles again. You know, at the end of the day, the last 30 years I've been working. You know, as I said before, you're struggling to remain relevant at all times. And sometimes you don't let up on yourself.
Yeah.
So I've become a creature of my work. And one day, you know, I always see myself, speaking of Muppets, as a performative Muppet. You know, that's like I open up and I sit inside and I control. And one day I opened up the big Muppet of myself, and nobody was inside controlling it. Nobody was at the wheels. And I felt like, oh, my Lord, it's time to do something. So I checked into a joint and took care of myself for a while. And then learned I learned some coping mechanisms and stuff to kind of get me right. And it's something that a lot of people don't like to talk about because there's a stigma around mental health. But, you know, look, if you break your arm, you know, you can point to it and say, ouch. When you break your brain, there's nothing to really point to. You can't really point to that injury. So it's important sometimes to take a beat and take care of ourselves so that we can take care of others. You know, there's that whole philosophy of like, you put your own mask on before you put somebody's mask on their plane. Same difference here.
Yeah, well, we're so
But
glad.
I'm saying now, kids, I'm totally saying, no, I'm kidding. I'm totally saying now.
You're so funny, Kevin. We're so glad that you're doing well. But before we let you go, we want you to tell us about the upcoming Hollywood at Babylon show screening this weekend.
That's right. It's I bought my hometown movie theater back in October, and so we do shows there all the time. Last week we were there. We showed the longest cut of Jersey Girl ever with more J-Lo than you could shake a stick at and stuff. All the J-Lo stuff we had to cut out. This weekend, we're doing a live podcast, Hollywood Babylon. I've been doing it for 13 years with my friend Ralph Garman. It's a funny cabaret show. Atlantic Highlands is not far from New York. I mean, you could take the bridge, the tunnel. You could jump on the ferry from Wall Street, and it brings you right into Atlantic Highlands. Our movie theater is right there.
So no
Come on
excuse
out
for
to
anyone.
Smodcastles.
That's right.
Yes, it's a good times, man. If you're looking for some laughs on a Saturday night, come join us at Smodcastle Cinemas. You can have popcorn, and we'll make you laugh.
Kevin Smith, thank you so much for all you do, and thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having, ladies. Excellent seeing you.
Be well. Be well.